Hi, everyone. We're waiting for the official blue line to say that we are officially live. I'm going to drink some water because I keep losing my voice every morning. I hope everyone is doing well this morning. Oh, it's going to be a good one. Today is Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about speaking gigs. So for those of you on Instagram, thank you so very much for joining me. The camera on Instagram, I don't know what's going on with that one. You know, I've tried to figure it out, but I can't. So give me a couple of seconds. We'll have a couple of people join us. You know, one or two folks who might want to hear this. I'm going to share this out to my peeps, definitely over at Budget School. And just to remind you, for those of you who are on Budget School, we have officially moved Ask the Budgetologist over to Keep Up with Mrs. Jones on Facebook. So make sure if you want to join live, why don't you come on over here and join the party? I'm going to share this out to my my folks. Hey, Heather, how are you doing this morning? So today we're going to talk about speaking gigs, and I'm going to switch over to my role as a speaker coordinator and give you some of my thoughts. Not everybody's thoughts. These are just my thoughts on why you are not getting booked for speaking gigs. And this is just from how I operate as a speaker coordinator. And so giving you a few of my tips on what I think could help you actually stand out just a little bit more. So for those of you, if you are tuning in for the first time, thank you so very much. Good morning, Heather. How are you doing? So I'm going to go ahead and pull these things up so I can see me, I can see you, I can see what you're saying. So we're going to have a great morning. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hey, Nikki, how are you doing this morning? So just to give you a couple of PSA announcements. So today, we're going to talk about speaking gigs. If you need help landing speaking gigs, I am here to help you. All you have to do is click that beautiful blue button over on facebook.com/keep up with Mrs. Jones. And I just remembered that you have no idea who I am. So let me go ahead and introduce myself first. Hey, Kelly, how you doing? Hey, Roger. First, I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. Now, I come to you live every morning around 7:45 a.m. Mountain Time. If you don't know where it is, just Google it. People in Mountain Time have no idea where Mountain Time is. So all I do is I come here and I answer any questions you have about business, budgeting, solo entrepreneurship, and I give you tons of unsolicited financial advice. Now, I stream live here on Instagram and over here at Facebook, facebook.com/keep up with Mrs. Jones. Over on Instagram, it's with Keep Up with Mrs. Jones. So thank you so very much. So my main live stream is here on Facebook, and I love coming to you every morning. I have been doing this since July 1st of 2017. And to honor the anniversary of Ask the Budgetologist, I am giving away 1 hour of free coaching. And today will be relevant is to help you land speaking gigs. So I only have a big favor. If you leave a star review on my facebook.com, Keep Up with Mrs. Jones business page, leave a star review. Let me know if the show was helpful, if you learned anything. Leave a positive one. If you leave a negative one, just send me a private message and tell me what I can do better. But I would love to have you leave a review, enter to win 1 hour of free coaching. I'm going to pull the name on July 2nd. That's the day after our anniversary, but it's on a Monday. I figured a Sunday was just like way too peaceful. So first, make sure you go and do that. Also, we're going to talk about speaking gigs. If you just say, hey, screw that, I just want to talk to you right now, you can book a one-on-one session with me. For those of you on Instagram, all you got to do is go over to Facebook to Keep Up with Mrs. Jones and leave the review. Or if you want to schedule a one-on-one session, did a few one-on-one sessions last week around speaking gigs, and they're always a lot of fun. We get straight to the point. It's not a 6-month-long coaching program that's going to slow you down. It is actually getting straight to the point in what you need to focus on just for the next 30 days, and then we'll connect back again and figure out where you need to go. All right, so we've done all of that. Now you know who I am. Let's go ahead and get on with the show. Today, I'm the speaker coordinator for 2 amazing groups here in the Denver, Colorado area. I'm actually slowly stepping out as one. And so I'll only be the speaker coordinator for one group, but I've been doing this for about going on 3 years now, 2.5, 3 years now. And I'm so glad that I did, because I learned a lot about being on the other side. Hey, Kelly Fanning, how are you doing over Instagram? I've learned a lot about being on both sides, being a speaker and being a coordinator and what speaker coordinators are looking for, at least good speaker coordinators. I'm slightly an overachiever when you give me some tasks, I'm like, whatever. But this one is, I take the speaker coordinator jobs like a little overachieverish because, I'm just kind of seeing what's out there. Good morning, Roger. How are you doing today? And so what I want to do is give you just a few tips of why you are not getting booked as a speaker, where you probably are not getting booked as a speaker based on just being a speaker coordinator. Okay. So if you got any questions about any of that, please put them down in the comment box. Put them down in the comment box and I will answer them for you. If I don't see you here on the live stream, because I know quite a few people are watching and you're kind of in the ether, just kind of give me a little shout out so I know that you are here and everybody is really good. All right. So the first thing I will say as a speaker coordinator, and just from the speaker coordinator's viewpoint, not as another speaker trying to help you get speaking gigs, but as a speaker coordinator. The first thing that I notice is that a lot of people hire people to pitch for them. And you're probably not getting gigs because the person you hired kind of sucks pitching for you. I'm just going to straight up say it. I have so many emails. I get emails on a weekly basis of people that want to speak for either of the groups that I coordinate for. And I am a true believer that when you are building up your business or your career as a speaker, you need to sell yourself. You as a speaker is a product. You're a product. And you can't have people selling you when you're still trying to figure it out. And especially if you got a salesperson that kind of sucks at it. I mean, I get emails like this. I'll read them to you. Hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm the assistant to person. I would like to see if you have a speaker for your next month's meeting. It's my understanding that you meet at this certain time, and the person that I'm talking about, they're going to be in town, and they're pretty amazing, so you should go ahead and speak to them. So please call me at your earliest so we can book this person. I'm going to tell you why that sucked. I hope everybody got that. It sucked because, one, she didn't do the research. You did not do the research. If you have done just a little bit of research, you would realize that there is a speaker for the next month. It takes, 2 clicks to go to a website, see that they have a speaker for the next month. And if they do, okay, you're good, Otherwise, you can say, oh, I see that you don't have a speaker in December. I would like to discuss that with you. There are ways to do it. First, do your research. Do your research. If you're going to hire someone to pitch for you, please, for the love of all that's holy, make sure they know how to do research, okay? If they don't know how to do research and they're sending emails like that, you are not going to get booked. And I get an email like that every week. I get emails like, I'm going to paraphrase one. I'm not going to read it direct like the other because I lost my little page now. But I get emails like that on a regular basis. Hi, I'm inquiring for this, and I want to see if they can speak. They're going to be in town, and this is their topic. All right. If you've done a little bit of research, you realize that we just had that topic 2 months ago. Come on. Come on, people. Come on, people. And as a speaker coordinator, I see these and I'm like, really? You couldn't take 3 seconds. You couldn't take 3 seconds and 2 clicks to go and look at what the past topics were. And you couldn't research and see that maybe there's somebody else already booked for the next month. Hey, Jennifer, how are you doing? How are you doing, Jennifer? Hey, Sharice, how you doing over on Instagram? So for those of you who are, I'm trying not to preach today, but for those of you who are joining, I am stepping on the other side as a speaker coordinator and talking about why you might not be getting booked as a speaker. And I'm just going to go through a few things that I've seen over the last 3 years, 2.5 years of being a speaker coordinator. The first one I'm talking about is if you hire somebody, you're probably losing speaking gigs because the person you hired kind of sucks at pitching for you. And remember, you as a speaker is a product. I totally, hey, thank you, Jennifer, for believing in me. Oh, there's animals. I truly believe that you should be selling yourself. Now, when you become a little bit more famous, all right, you can have somebody who can pitch for you, but if somebody's pitching for you, one, they need to be good, not just a VA, not just a VA who doesn't like talking to people, you know? And I read the email that, you got to start with research. Too many people. Hey, Angela, how you doing? Hi, Diane. Too many people send me these emails about, hey, I'm trying to see if you have a speaker for next month. Here's the thing. I'm not saying that it's negative. I might be in a pinch and might need a speaker, but it really does help for you to do a little bit of research, especially if you're going to have somebody who's pitching for you. So the first thing I will say is that if you're hiring somebody, make sure they're good, and you're probably missing out on gigs because they don't know how to sell you very well. And I get one of those emails almost every week, and it kind of sucks. Okay. The second reason that you're probably not getting booked, based on just from my viewpoint as a speaker coordinator, sorry, but your talk is kind of boring. Oh, I know. Your talk is kind of boring, and I know the groups that I coordinate for kind of attract a lot of healers, spiritual people, and I'm here to tell you, I get the same topic every other email. The same topic. Now, I don't care what you talk about. I really don't care what you talk about, but I get the same topic. I get the same title every other email: how to live your best life, how to be an amazing life. Okay, you're not giving me much on that one. I kind of need a little bit more. I need a little bit more on what's the transformation, what will the audience get? And to be honest, and I talked about this before, I had a lot of people that applied to speak for TEDx Denver. And people were angry because they didn't get chosen. And I had to tell them, when I found out the stats that 1,400 people submitted and they chose 80 for auditions. Here's the thing, people. I don't get 1,400 emails, goodness no. But here's the thing. As a speaker coordinator, and I've actually thought about volunteering for some of these groups. If I'm seeing 1,400 emails with 1,400 different titles, and I'm best believe about 40% will have about the same title, you're gonna have to stand out. You're gonna have to do something that makes me want to read the email. You're gonna have to do something that makes me want to read the email. And if it's like the same redundant title when I'm scrolling, I'm probably not gonna read your email. The subject line, you got to do something for me. If you're pitching through email, you're going to have to do something, because I got an email box full of 300 emails. And and for some groups that get 1,400 inquiries a day or a week, you're going to have to do something to stand out. Hey, Ramona, how are you doing this morning? So you're going to have to do something to stand out. And for those of you who are coming in late, I'm talking about my experience as a speaker coordinator as to why you're probably not being booked as a speaker. So first, I talked about if you hire somebody, you're probably losing gigs because they suck at pitching you, just being straight up honest. I'll talk about that one again. But the second one is your title's kind of boring and you're not standing out. I have an email box full of 300 emails trying to do my job and run my business at the same time. And I see the same titles over and over again. And you got to do something that stands out. And plus, and I will always go back to this, if you haven't done the research, you might realize I just chose somebody 3 months ago with that same title. So you got to pay attention to it. And Heather, thank you, Heather. Heather is saying, oh man, I could write a book on the importance of headlines and subject lines. Yes, Heather, please write a book on that. Hey, Nikki, how you doing? Please write a book on that, because it is just, because when I get so many emails, you gotta stand out. And if everything is just, my talk is about living your best life. Okay. All right. If Oprah sent me that email, 10 times different. When Michelle from Boise, and I don't know her, sends me that email, yeah, okay. I'll wait for Oprah to email me that one. So stand out. Do what you need to do. If you're only pitching through email, you got to stand out. The number 3 reason as a speaker coordinator you're not getting gigs is that you only pitch through email. I know. You only pitch through email. I teach a class on how to land speaking gigs, and I actually work with clients finding speaking gigs for them. And I'm a researcher by nature. So I like to research to the nth degree of research. And what I have done for my clients is that I tell them we're going to go with every method to get you in front of this person so that they know you exist. If the only way you're pitching is through email, you are missing out on many, many ways of getting speaking gigs. Here's one way, a phone call. Funny how phone calls do work right about now. You know, those smartphones are actually pretty smart if you pick them up and dial. Pick up the phone. Actually, the other thing that I say, invite the person that you want to book you for your next gig to your current gig. I have done that so many times for my speaking gigs. That's how I get my next one. If I know that I want to be on a certain stage, I will invite the person to see me speak. Here's the thing. I book based on seeing people speak. If I haven't seen you speak, it's going to be a little iffy. I will reach out to the other people around me if they've seen you speak. Okay, that's great. I just need somebody to confirm that you're decent, okay? But reach out, pick up the phone, actually invite the speaker coordinators to see you speak. Actually become friends with the speaker coordinator. Get friendly with them. I'm sorry, if you want that stage bad enough, send them some treats in the mail, send them some brownies, do whatever you need to do to get in front of their face. Because I'm telling you, now Kelly is a good example. Kelly is the managing director of a women's networking group down in Phoenix. She gets bombarded by people who want to speak at her group. Guess what? I'm pretty certain if you were to send Kelly a brownie, she might pay attention to you just a little bit. You know what? Do the research, learn who you're trying to get in front of. And to be honest, it really doesn't take that much. It doesn't take that much because if Kelly's getting a ton of emails, she's going to just skip through them. And, and to be honest, you probably meet them in person. You know what? It never hurts to meet them in person. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? It never hurts to meet them in person. So if you're only pitching through email for speaking gigs, you're probably missing out on tons of other gigs. And I've told you before, I've gotten gigs based on just meeting people, going out to dinner with people. I send candy in the mail. Trust me, I do it all. So if you're only pitching through email, you're missing out. And I'm going to piggyback on, for those of you who are coming in late, I'm talking about reasons why you might not be getting, from a speaker coordinator's point of view, why you may not be getting speaking gigs. And I talked about the first one is that you hired somebody to pitch for you and they kind of suck. Sorry. I get sucky pitches every day from people trying to sell somebody else and they're not very good at it. The second one is, your emails aren't standing out. And third is that you're only pitching through email. So here's the thing. If you're only pitching through email, you hired somebody to pitch for you and they kind of suck at it. Guess what? You're probably not getting booked for speaking gigs. And I get these emails every week. I get them every week. Okay. Elisa's asking, how do you find out where they will be or to connect with them in person? You know what? Here's the thing, Elisa. The beautiful thing is we have this thing called the internet. Oh my gosh, the interwebs. Usually when you go to an organization, you can scroll down and look for that magical person called event coordinator, speaker coordinator, host coordinator, or as a matter of fact, just go straight to the president. Remember, if they are running an organization, they probably have meetings. And you can probably find out where they are on LinkedIn. It depends. Now, some people are very quiet. You're going to have to either get an introduction, find out who they are, get an introduction. That's just kind of how this works. So I'll give you a real life example. So on Thursday for the eWomen Network meeting here in Denver, Colorado, I booked the director of WordCamp. He's a director of WordCamp Denver. And he's speaking, but I also know that some people may want to speak at WordCamp. Guess what? Just magically appear where they are appearing. And it's not that hard. It's not as hard as you think it is. It just takes a little bit of time. So if you're only using email to pitch somebody, you're probably missing out on other ways, because you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised if you give me like 2 glasses of Prosecco, we start talking about speaking gigs at 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'll probably book you. Like, yeah, sure. Just go ahead and send me your stuff. We'll put you on the calendar. Yeah, I'm not that easy, but if I like you, the like factor. We'll talk about that in a minute. The like factor actually can get you booked quite a bit. Jennifer Johnson, hey, anytime I'm going to be anywhere catering or speaking, I list that in my front webpage so people can follow me and show up. Yes, Jennifer. One of the things that I do just as a speaker, I'll switch over to speaker mode. I invite, every time I go out and speak, I invite at least 2 people. I invite just 2 people so I can have a familiar face in the audience. But I know if I'm going to be somewhere and I want to speak for another group, I will invite that person. And even if they can't come, at least they're on the radar, like, okay, that person's a speaker. That's kind of cool. All right. So remember that it's not as hard as you think to find these people. We just got to take the due diligence to do it. All right. Here's another one. I think I'm on number 3. Number 4. What can number 4 be? Number 4 is that what I find with most speakers, and just as a speaker coordinator, I know a lot of us put all of our time into making sure our web page is good, making sure our speaker reel is good. But what a lot of us don't do is pick up the phone and just call and talk to the person. We quit after the first email. And I've done this myself, but I see it. The number of times people email me and I never hear back from them. And here's the thing, speaker coordinators are busy. They're humans. They are human beings. They're very busy. And okay, and I get it. Sometimes you may send that one email, oh my gosh, I didn't hear from them. And then you give up. I have only booked out of 2.5 years of doing this, I've only had one person that sent an email. They sent me a message, and it's not that I wasn't ignoring them. I was just, I kind of was, but because I get these things all the time and I see them and it's like, I just don't have time to respond. But the third time she picked up the phone and she just talked to me. And I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to do some shameless things here. I'm going to tell you something shameless. One of the reasons she got it is because she turned on the charm and used a lot of flattery. You'd be surprised, like, flattery works. Let's just say if I call up Kelly, I call Kelly, I send Kelly an email. Oh, Kelly, I'm going to be in Phoenix. I'm amazing. You should book me. And Kelly's going to be like, yeah, whatever. I send a message to Kelly. Oh my gosh, Kelly, I'm still amazing. I'm still going to be in Phoenix. Why don't you pick up the phone and talk to me? Kelly's probably going to ignore me. But if I pick up the phone and I call Kelly, like, oh my gosh, Kelly, I know you're really busy, but I just saw that you're putting on a trip to Morocco. I just went to Morocco, and Kelly is going to fall all over you. She's going to be like, oh my gosh, it's great. Let's talk about Morocco. Blah, 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 blah. Guess what? You found a way to really relate to this person. And now it's just like, you know what? I kind of like you. Yeah, let's talk about that speaking gig thing. In my 2.5 years of being a speaker coordinator, I've only had one person that actually was persistent enough. And then by the third time she picked up the phone, and then we just chatted because, okay, she did a lot of flattery. She's like, oh my gosh, I saw you speak in January. You were amazing. I was like, oh shucks. Yeah, I'm going to book you. I'm pretty easy. And Kelly, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We got to find something to relate to people. So here's the thing. Speaker coordinators are people. They're people. You got to relate to them. And you'll be surprised, just being relatable, finding something common will get you quite a few speaking gigs. I booked speaking gigs just from talking about Teen Titans comic books, buying gifts for people. Here's the thing. If you want it bad enough, you'll do whatever you need to do. Remember, you as a speaker, you are a product. Think of it the same way that you would go and sell your services. You got to woo people. You got to woo them. All right. Number 5. Here's the the 5th reason. I think this is going to be enough for today. The 5th reason is, so the last one, make sure persistent, don't give up. And the 5th one is you got to treat speaker coordinators just like human beings. I have had some negative run-ins with people who didn't get chosen to speak, and they will send me the nastiest emails. And I've seen other people who will blast an organization. Well, they didn't speak me. You suck, blah, 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 blah. And then like 2 months later, so yeah, I want to talk to you about speaking. Really? Really? Wounds run long, people. And my memory has a long memory. I'm like an elephant. I remember things. When you don't treat people like people, when you're aggressive, when you are rude, not aggressive, when you are rude to them, they're probably not going to speak, let you speak. And I will say this, you probably have burned that bridge until there's a new coordinator. Don't burn bridges that way. Here's the thing. If you get rejected, just say, all right, cool. I'll figure out how to do it next year. If you get rejected, learn how to handle rejection. If you can't handle rejection, you need to get out of the speaking game right now. And if your instant reaction is that when you don't get booked, you send a nasty email, stop speaking right now, find something else to do, because you will never speak for that organization ever again, or never be considered. And yes, people, speaker coordinators have speaker coordinator friends, and we all talk. We all talk, just letting you know. We all talk. We're like chirpies, because what happens is that I will meet somebody else who is coordinating a speaker. They'll email me and like, hey, what was it like working with this person? And I give honest answers. So always show up, learn how to deal with rejection, and keep it classy, people. Keep it classy, okay? Yeah, Nikki, Teen Titans. There you go. That's how I got to London to speak. Teen Titans. Long story. So you got to keep people, you got to treat people as just regular folks. Okay. All right. I've been talking a lot. Anybody got any questions? Hey, Don, how you doing? Anybody got any questions? Hey, Ann, anybody got any questions on just from a speaker coordinator? Here's your opportunity. I'm a speaker coordinator. Ask me anything. Ask me why you're getting rejected. Ask me why you should not ask the speaker coordinator what you should do better. Ask me any question, because, it's not a right, it's a privilege to be chosen. Yes, Elisa, it really is. You got to learn how to, you really have to learn how to deal with rejection. Because I have a rejection list that is long and deep. And you're just like, all right, cool. You rejected me this year. Keep going. I'll work on it next year. But how far in advance to speaking gigs book? How far in advance to book speaking gigs? I think that's what you're asking me. I will say this. Hey, Cassie, how you doing? I will say this as a speaker coordinator for my groups. If you want to speak for a quality group, they're already booked out at least 6 to 8 months as for speakers. 6 to 8 months for a quality group. So remember that I always tell you, you need to give yourself 90 days to kind of figure out, do the research, kiss a little butt, do whatever you need to do. And so that you can start pitching for the next, so that you can work on it for the next 90 days or the 90 days after. So yeah, if most quality organizations, they're already 6 to 8 months. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't sneak in because there are cancellations, there are changes, but you need to build a rapport with that speaker coordinator so that you can swoop in. Because I will say this, I do have my short list. All speaker coordinators have a short list of friends that they will call on when they are in a pinch and when they are in a bind. Okay. So if you are friends with speaker coordinators, make sure you do whatever you need to do to figure out and to get on that short list so they can swoop you in just in case they are in a pinch or in a bind. And I have a short list. I have 3 people deep on my list that no matter when I call, they're like, yep, I'm there. Hands down, like my favorites. I can count on them. And then just switching over, even as a speaker, if I have to cancel, I have a short list of people that I can submit that will like fill in and do an amazing job. Hey, Dawn. Any other questions? Come on, people. Come on, folks. I know quite a few of you here want to be speakers and you don't have any questions. Here's the thing. One lesson I have learned in life. You better ask your questions now because you may not get a chance. Hey, Wine. Sunny. Oh, hey, Marty. Whiny Marty. How you doing? How you doing over on Instagram? We're talking about today, we're talking about why you might not be getting booked as a speaker from a speaker coordinator's point of view. I've been a speaker coordinator for 2.5 years for 2 amazing groups here in Denver, Colorado. I'm also on the board for another I was on the board for another organization, and we also chose, I don't choose all the speakers in a vacuum. I do have people that I report to. And so I was on another organization where we all had to pitch in and, give a okay for speakers. So, so I've learned a lot just as a speaker coordinator. For speaking. Elisa is asking, what's the most creative request you've received to speak? I have not received anything creative, to be honest, Elisa. I'm still waiting for somebody to send me a bottle of Prosecco. I probably will book you. But no, seriously, I haven't gotten, I'm not that big in the speaker coordinator world. My organizations aren't that amazing. If anything, I've gotten the nasty emails. I have been hounded. I have had people who have pretended to be interested in my services, only to flood me with why to speak. Don't do that. That is not right. I don't like that. But no, I haven't had anybody creative. I will say the only persistent person I've ever had is that they actually picked up the phone and just called me. And that's why I say always do the research, because research the group. We always have people who don't know who the audience is, and like, oh my gosh, here's my best life. Like, okay, I just booked that person last month, so you're probably gonna wait another year before I book something like that. So do your research, okay? Dawn, hey Dawn, how do you deal with rejection? What is your go-to pick me up? You know what, Dawn? When it comes to rejection being in the speaker world, I don't get down about it. This is just part of the game. And it's hard for me. I probably won't give you a good answer. The way I see rejection, when I get rejected as a speaker, that means somebody just upped the ante, like, oh, you don't want me? Oh, cool. You're going to want me next year. That's kind of how I deal with things. You just gave me a challenge. And I will say this, Dawn, my background, I came from the dancing world. So I was a baton twirler and I was a professional cheerleader, and I danced in college. So I had to do a lot of auditions, and I just got used to being rejected. But for some groups, for now, I just think of it, because I look at speaking as a product, I look at it as a person who doesn't want to work with me in business. And I'm like, that's okay. But I'm going to get on your stage. That's okay. It's taken me 3 years for a couple of stages. I think I'm about to get it this year. It's taken me 3 years. To me, the rejection means I need to be better. That means my talk. I kind of look at rejection as my talk isn't that good. Or they just don't know me. So I need to go keep making a name for myself. So that's how I deal with rejection. And I don't have a go-to pick me up. I just up the ante and go get the next gig. That's what I do. And then my goal is to make sure that people, know who I am. Kelly is saying, talking with Terry's the best promo, FYI. You have to tell me what Terry's doing. I see what she's doing, but I don't see it as much anymore. And actually, I actually met with Terry, and we sat down and had a very long talk on all of this, Kelly. So she's really cool. We did, 3 hours. We're 3 hours working with Terry on speaking and things like that. So she's really cool. I'm excited to see what she does. Hey, Annette, how you doing? Diane is asking, do you recommend reaching out to small groups first? Diane, when it comes to reaching out, I say reach out to all groups. If you want to go big, go big. I mean, why not? Small groups, yes, I do recommend. If you're still a little fearful, reach out to small groups, get your toes wet. But you never know. You never know that you might be what a bigger group is looking for. So don't limit yourself. And because I did the same thing. I only reached out to small because, I'm not big enough for that one. And then when you finally reach out, it's like, oh, okay, I can do this. So reach out to all groups. But yes, I recommend reaching out to all groups. And here's the thing. Here's the beautiful thing about reaching out to big stages. Sometimes they will let you know, like, you know what, we're looking for people with a bigger reach. That should be the hint, like, okay, I'm not big enough for you all yet. All right, give me a year and I'll come back. So sometimes they'll give you exactly what they're looking for, and which is cool with a lot of groups. They'll tell you what they're looking for. Like one of the groups that I'm a speaker coordinator for, we have a motto of 1 million women to $1 million in revenue. And to be honest, I only book speakers who have reached $1 million in revenue or are running $1 million company. And I tell people that, and they're like, okay, I'm not there yet. I'm like, all right, cool. Call me back in a year. And I'm very specific with what I'm looking for. And a lot of groups are very specific. Some aren't. And that's why if you got a great title, go for it. Okay. Meetup or chamber groups. Some meetups and chamber groups are not small, just FYI, but you can reach out to them. You're going to have to figure out what their rules are. But here's the thing. And my last point, with all of this, ask, reach out, ask again, reach out, ask again. Don't be afraid. Everybody grow some ovaries and just get out there and start asking. I mean, that's just going to have to be, you're going to have to do that. Okay. Grow some ovaries, start asking, because you won't know until you ask. And yes, meetups or chambers. Yes, Diane, reach out to them. They're going to tell you what they're looking for, what they're not looking for. You know what? Here's the thing. This is part of the research. You got to get out there and do the research. Okay. Dawn is saying, thank you. Awesome. You're awesome. Thank you, Dawn. So any other questions? Come on. I'm a speaker coordinator. I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and some of my groups have ranged from small to medium. So ask questions. Remember, no silly questions, folks. No silly questions. And today, for those of you coming a little bit late, I'm talking about being from a speaker coordinator's point of view of what it takes to get speaking gigs. And what I will say this is reach out, connect with people. You know, I told you if you're hiring somebody that's pitching for you, you're probably missing gigs because they suck at pitching for you. I believe in landing your own gigs. I honestly do. I know a lot of people want to hire PR agents and do it for me. Yeah, once you have a certain level, you can hire them. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But if you want somebody good, you're going to have to pay a little bit more money. And so if you are hiring somebody, make sure they know how to do the research. My little side hustle to this main hustle is that I actually do the research, and I help speakers find speaking gigs. And I do all the research. I try to find out like where they live. Like, all right, they have 3 dogs. You're going to send dog treats to them, and you're going to talk about this. That's what I do. You don't have to go as deep as I do, but I will say this. I've gotten quite a few gigs doing that. And I've helped a lot of people get gigs that way, just from connecting with folks. So make sure that you do the research. That's the biggest one. I forgot what my other points were. Your headlines and subject lines. Sorry, if your talks are boring, if the subject line in the email is boring, if what you're saying is, and you talk about I'm probably going to skip over you. You got to have something that stands out. 3, if you're only pitching through email, you are missing out. Invite speaker coordinators. I dare any of you to invite me to your next speaking gig. I know so many speaker coordinators now, literally almost around the world. And this is how you get connected to your next gig. People need to see you speak. Email is great at pitching, but I need to see how you are in the audience. This is me, not everybody. This is me. Okay. And the 4th one, I forgot my 4th point. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, I forgot it. I'm gonna have to rewind and figure it out. But the 5th one is learn how to deal with rejection. Okay. Learn how to deal with rejection. If your first inclination to being rejected is sending a nasty email, just realize you're never going to speak again. Not for that group. And you're never going to speak for me, and you're not going to do business with me. What are your top keyword phrases for research? What are we researching, Annette? And so when I say research, I'm researching the person. I'm trying to figure out who is the speaker coordinator. And so it's not so much the group. It's like what happens is that we find a group. So I know, Annette, that you're looking out for Rotary clubs, and I know you're looking at some Rotary clubs and some other groups. What I'm talking about for research, and yes, there are phrases, look for conferences, seminars, call for speakers, things like that. But I want you to go a little bit beyond. I want you to find who the person who is booking the people. Do the research on them, do the research on the group, make sure it's the right group. Make sure you know that your topic isn't one that somebody did the month before. Make sure you understand that they already have speakers and you're looking for January of 2019, not next month, when all you had to do was do the research and realize that they already had a speaker in your same area. So make sure, that's what I mean by research. Go beyond just, here's the thing. I go and find groups all the time. And what I do for my clients is that I go beyond and like, all right, seriously, like the speaker coordinator here, she's actually really cool. She has 2 cats. So maybe let's send her a card with a cat on it, something like that, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, so do the research and finding the places, but I want you to, my goal is to make sure you get a yes. And I want you to do whatever to stand out. I want you to go meet them, go to their group, go introduce yourself face to face. We got to do a little bit of face to face. Remember, you as a speaker is a product. And the question I'm going to ask you, how many people have purchased whatever you sell through one email talking about how great you are? Probably not many. And it's probably the same way when it comes to speaking. Just remember that. Just remember that, okay? All right, people. If you don't have any more questions, I'm probably going to jump off and do some income producing activities. You should be doing them too. So what I do on Tuesdays are my client days. So this is where I go find speaking gigs for my clients. It's actually a lot of fun for me. I actually go find speaking gigs for my clients and I do the strategy around how we're going to pitch. And that's the thing, have a pitch strategy, not just 12 emails, but the whole strategy. Like for some people, email strategy ain't going to work. We're going to have to get creative to get in front of some folks, okay? And Wednesdays is when I go do for myself. So I have a lot of fun doing this, and I crunch. And with that, I'm on the road next week for 3 speaking gigs. So I'm going to be a little wonky when I come live. So just kind of preparing you for that. I'm going to be on the road speaking 3 times in Canada. So excited about that one. Nikki is saying, yes, Annette. I'm glad you got the clarification. Nikki is saying the marketing rule of 7 means someone has to see you or your brand at least 7 times before they are ready to take action. Thank you, Nikki. The problem, I think, Nikki, and we can debate this one day. I think the problem when it comes to speakers is that we think that we are amazing as speakers, that one email is enough. And that one email when no one has seen us speak, no one even knows what we're talking about, and then we get mad. I totally agree with you. People need to see you a number of times before they even not everybody, but some people need to see. If you're going to go for quality organizations, they need to see you a few times. I promise you. I can't announce it yet, but I landed a speaking gig for later in this year. This person that booked me, I have known them almost 3 years, and and I haven't blatantly said I want to speak, but it's just like, whoo, it has taken some time to get the warm and fuzzy. And then they're like, oh, you're a speaker. And when the floodgates open, So sometimes you got to have a little bit of patience, and people need to know you. Hey, Kelly. All right. See you later. Nikki saying anything is never enough. You're so right. And not in this trust and permission based economy, because I think we were in a point where somebody can say, I speak, book me. But now I think we got to get to the point, because I've seen there's so many people that are spouting BS out there. That's why it's hard now for me. I like quality speakers, and I need to know what you're talking about. And like I said, it depends on the group. Some groups want quality. And hey, Rebecca, how you doing over Instagram? And you're going to have to do, I have a friend who gets paid on average $25,000 to speak around the world. Website is crappy, doesn't do any straight up pitching. What he does is what I do. Goes out and connects with people, makes friends with them, and finds something of similar that they can talk about, and start the relationship there. And then that's how it works. You'd be surprised how much. And yes, Nikki, that is how I got a speaking gig talking about Teen Titans. You make relationships with people. Our dear friend Annette, for those of you who haven't seen, I shared his stuff. Mark Asquith, he says, stop building relationships and start making friends. And yes, my friend who does make $25,000 speaking, I've been coached by him a couple of times, but it really is starting to connect with people. That's how you do it. Okay. And Edison, thank you for the reminder about rejection. I'm so thankful I have a different mindset towards that. I handle it so much better. Yeah. Here's the thing. Rejection is just part of the game, folks. Just part of the game. When I get rejected, it just ups the ante, like, oh, you don't like me? Fine. You're going to like me next year. And before I sign off, I'll give you the quick story of rejection. So I live here in Denver, and I put my toe into the game of speaking. And I met a lot of people the first couple of years who, you try to reach out and you're kind of not good enough to have lunch with them. I mean, some people are busy and they'll say, hey, I'm really, really busy. It's not, I'm ignoring you. But some people are like, yeah, you get a little flippant, like, oh my gosh, I'd love to connect with you. Like, yeah. And it's been interesting because I got a lot of that. And what I did, I was like, I'm kind of, what's that quote? Your best form of, the best revenge is success. And I was like, all right, fine. None of you want to talk to me. That's great. So I did a whole bunch of things, and I started speaking in different countries, started speaking outside of the state, started speaking in different cities. And then something happened when I landed a thing last year. Then all of a sudden I did a TV spot. Then all of a sudden, some of these people who never talked to me in the first 2 years, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of your success. We should get together and do that coffee date that you talked about. Like, that was like 2 years ago, and now you're my friend. That's how I've understood rejection to be, is that you get rejected by some people, but they always come around because the reason why you're getting rejected is that some people want to only be around success, and you're going to have to go prove your success. And which is crazy, I know. And I was told this right when I started speaking, was that you're never going to be big in your hometown. Never going to happen, because nobody will take you as serious as people who are outside of where you live. And I always thought that was a weird phrase. And when my two friends who do speak around the world get paid $25,000, they're like, yeah, that is so true. And I'm starting to learn that it is true. And now I'm getting a few things at home, but in the beginning, like, nobody would, I got a few speaking gigs here. I got a few. I won't lie. I did get a few, but it seemed the more that I went outside, now people are more interested in booking me at home. So you might have to go all the way around the world just to get some people to book you. That's just how this goes sometimes. Hey, Andrea, how you doing this morning? Hey, Olivia. LOL. Yep. The conditional friendship. I've experienced lots of this. Yes. Yeah. We'll talk about that on Saturday. Conditional friendships in business. We'll talk about that a lot. So we'll do behind the scenes on Saturday. I'll give you my opinion. So, all right, people, it's 8:33. It's time to go. And yes, Rebecca, oh, how the tables have turned. Yes, it's so interesting how it turned. Now, I'm not saying this, I'm not famous or anything by any stretch. I'm not famous. I'm still a nobody in the grand scheme of things, but it is just kind of interesting how it works out that way, that people pay attention to you after you go and do some other things. And that's kind of how speaking is. If you're getting rejected by speaker coordinators, either 9 times out of 10, they just they don't know enough about you. And you may have to go literally around the world before somebody's like, oh, okay, now I'll book you. So I don't think of it as rejection. It's just more of a challenge when you're not chosen as a speaker. Olivia is saying, I'm ready to go around the world. Haven't spoken internationally yet. Ooh, I can help you with that, Olivia. Yay. All right, folks, if you need any help getting speaking gigs, you know how to reach out to me. You know how to book a one-on-one session. Go to keepupwithmrsjones.com/jumpstart. Because I like to travel, I do hunt down speaking gigs in the global scheme. I actually have like 25 on my list of speaking gigs internationally. They're just not the right fit for me. So I just keep them on my little back pocket in case somebody wants them. So, but this is what I do. So if you ever need help with that, all you gotta do is reach out to me. We can do a one-on-one session, and yeah, that's it. Andrea, you're already famous. It's just catching up. I like that. I'm gonna make that a shirt, Andrea. I'm already famous. You just don't know yet. I like that. But no, I'm still a nobody in this whole thing. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? Thank you for today's vid. You're welcome, Kevin. I'm still a nobody. And I'm a nobody who needs to go do some IPAs and go search for speaking gigs today. So I hope you're all having an amazing day. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Wednesday, we're going to talk about money, folks, because that's what I do. I'm signing off on Instagram first. So Rebecca, thank you for being here. Marnie, Cherise, Kelly Fanning, thank you so very much. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Bye. For my lovelies here on Facebook.com, remember, If you leave a star rating on my page, you will be entered to win 1 hour of free coaching, and we can coach you on getting your next few speaking gigs or budgeting. So all you got to do is go to keepupwithmrsjones.com facebook.com/keep up with Mrs. Jones. Leave a star rating. When you do that, you'll be entered to win 1 hour free coaching with me. The names will be pulled on July 2nd. And we'll talk about whatever you need to do to get your speaking gigs, get your budgeting going, talk about business, talk about travel, whatever you want. Thank you, Diane. You are amazing. You have a great day. So go do some income producing activities, folks. The 15th is coming up, and you know that's really payday and that's CFO day. So make sure you go do that. Take care. Happy budgeting. Thanks, Diane, Kevin, Joseph, Andrea, Olivia, Annette, Nikki, Heather, Ann, Dawn, Kelly, Elisa, who I'm missing here, Ramona. Thank you for popping over here. Angela, thank you so very much. You all, if I miss you, Jennifer, if I missed you, if I didn't see you, I'm sorry. You know I love you. Ooh, I love you. Have an amazing day. Happy budgeting. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Bye.